All right, imagine this. What if you could just build a global financial capital from the ground up? I mean, an entire city designed to pull in trillions of dollars and go head to head with the world's biggest financial players. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, that's exactly what India is doing with this massive project called Gift City. So today, let's dig into how they're building the city of the future.
Yeah, and look, this isn't just about putting up a bunch of shiny new skyscrapers. The ambition here is way bigger. We're talking about fundamentally rewiring how global money flows into one of the planet's fastest growing economies. The goal? To create a direct challenger to the big dogs, places like Singapore and Dubai.
But, the stakes here are just massive. So, what's the real story? Is this a total game changer that's going to cement India's place as a financial superpower? Or is it just a really expensive gamble that could end up as a ghost town? That's really the big question we're diving into.
Okay, so to really get why Gift City even exists, you first have to understand the huge problem it was built to solve. For decades, India it was kind of losing the money game, unintentionally pushing billions of dollars away. So think about it like this. For years, big global investors, and hey, even India's own booming startups, found it way easier and cheaper to do business somewhere else, like Singapore or Mauritius. Why? Well, because of this tangled web of rules back home. And that meant billions upon billions of dollars that should have been in India were just flowing offshore.
And this slide really gets to the heart of the whole problem. Before Gift City, if you wanted to do anything in finance, you had to deal with this regulatory maze. You had one regulator for banking, another for stocks, a different one for insurance. I mean, it was a mess of red tape and delays. The solution? Create one unified regulator, the IFSCA, basically a single point of contact, a one-stop shop. And that, right there, is a total game changer.
So that brings us to Gift City's secret weapon. Because this isn't just one simple fix, right? It's a whole strategy to create what you could call a special ops zone for finance. And the plan is actually pretty brilliant in how simple it is. It really boils down to two things. First, you've got the hardware. That's the physical city itself, the world-class infrastructure, and all those amazing financial perks. And then you have the software, which is that revolutionary, super streamlined regulatory system we were just talking about. And when we talk about the hardware, I mean, just look at these incentives. They are seriously aggressive. We're talking a 10-year tax holiday, zero GST on services, no tax on stock trades, no stamp duty. And for foreign investors, it's a dream. You can bring your capital in and take it out whenever you want, no strings attached. It's basically a giant magnet for money. And here it is, the software we mentioned, the IFSCA. Think of it as the master key. This is the one and only regulator that has the power to oversee everything inside Gift City. Banking, capital markets, insurance, you name it. It just makes the whole process faster, simpler, and way more predictable for businesses.
Okay, so the idea sounds great. The setup looks good on paper. But is it actually working? Let's take a look at the numbers and see what the scorecard says so far.
And wow, this timeline is pretty staggering. I mean, to climb from 75th place all the way to 43rd in just a couple of years in the Global Financial Centers Index, that's a huge deal. It's a clear signal that the rest of the world is sitting up and taking this project very, very seriously. And it's not just about some abstract ranking either. We're talking about more than 550 companies that have already set up shop there. And these aren't small players. We're talking about the titans of global finance, JP Morgan, HSBC, Deutsche Bank. These guys don't just show up anywhere. They wouldn't be there if they didn't see some serious potential.
And just look at the sheer scale of the money flowing through. Almost $800 billion. That's the total amount of assets being managed by the banking units in Gift City right now. That is an absolutely massive shift of capital.
Now, this is really cool because it shows the city's innovative side. A whole new industry for India, aircraft leasing, has literally popped up out of nowhere here. It's already hit over $1 billion in transactions in just 3 years. This proves that Gift City isn't just about attracting existing financial businesses, it's actually creating brand new markets.
And this table really gives you a quick snapshot of the whole ecosystem they're building. It's not just one thing. You've got dozens of domestic and foreign banks, 2 international stock exchanges, a really strong insurance sector, more than 250 different investment funds, and even a global bullion exchange for trading gold. What you're seeing is a truly diverse financial hub starting to take shape. But, okay, let's pump the brakes a little. It's not all smooth sailing. The road to becoming the next Singapore or Dubai is paved with some pretty big challenges. So it's time for a quick reality check. So the money incentives are there, the shiny new buildings are there, but the biggest hurdle might actually be a human one. I mean, Gift City has to compete with these huge, vibrant, established cities around the world. And more than anything, it has to convince the absolute best talent in finance to pack up their lives and actually move there. And this chart, wow, it tells a pretty stark story. The attrition rate, that's basically the speed at which people leave their jobs, is over double what you see in other big Indian cities. 35%. It shows that, yeah, it might be easy to get companies to come, but it's a whole lot harder to get their employees to stay. And this number really gets to the why. A whopping 63% of executives say they just aren't willing to relocate there. And the reasons are pretty simple, right? A city is so much more than just office buildings. It's about community, good schools for your kids, a social life, your professional networks. Building that whole human side of things, that's the next big challenge. So when you put all of this together, the huge successes and the very real challenges, what does the future actually hold? Is Gift City really on track to become a new financial superpower?
Well, the people in charge certainly think so. This quote from the CEO of Gift City really frames its rise not just as, a local success story, but as a powerful symbol of India's growing influence in global finance.
So let's wrap this up with the key takeaway. Look, Gift City might not be Singapore or Dubai yet, but it has this really powerful and unique formula. It takes the best parts of an offshore hub, like low costs and easy rules, and combines it with something its competitors just can't offer: direct, frictionless access to the enormous Indian economy. And that right there is its ultimate trump card.
So in the end, the evidence really suggests that its success isn't a matter of if anymore. The real question now is how fast. How quickly can this city, built from literally nothing, overcome its growing pains and start to truly reshape how money moves around the globe? That's the billion-dollar question.